David Carlson. I'm the manager of Special Software Initiatives. We're going to go through some of the new features on NRG Cloud today. So I'm just going to log into NRG Cloud. Alright, so here I am on the fleet view. I can see my sites and where they're situated. I'm going to click over into the sites view to view these sites as a table. And then I'm going to be using a real site, but it's a site that's operating on my desk as an example here. Let's put that into the search table, and there it is. So in this latest release, we spent a lot of time improving the response of the site and making things a little faster, a little smoother. So one new feature visible on the user section, and it's email notifications. So as a user, you can now sign up to receive alerts as emails. If I click the data management icon and go to data export, here I can see any data exports that have already been created, and I can create a new data export. I'm going to select the site. Again, I know my site is 4310, so I'm going to start typing that in. Choose it. And I'll just go with the default, which is the last week of data, and we'll get that in a text format. We'll just get the measurement data and start the export. I get a notification that says the export was created successfully. Now it's going to hang in a processing state. And I can just kind of go back to what I was doing before on my sites page. Again, I'll search for 4310 and go over here. Since I've been clicking around, a new notification has popped up. So this tells me there's a new data export available. I can click here. It'll take me back to the data export page, and then I can download that. Back at my site again, I'll choose a different option from the drop-down menu. I'll go to System Health. We've been starting to populate more of these. Now we can see SD card usage. This particular site, I'm getting pretty full. Time to replace that. Another main set of features that are coming out in this release are configuration changes. So I clicked into the configuration heading, and that brings up a new level in the breadcrumb where I can see different configuration options for the site that I have. In order to use the configuration features, the logger has to be actively communicating and has to have hit our diagnostic server in the last 7 days. And you have to be a coordinator or admin level user for the site. So here is the site configuration page where we can change things like the site type. If we accidentally set it up as the wrong type, we can change that, and any of the fields that you see here. I'll go ahead and change our elevation to 120 meters, and then we can save this configuration. That's going to create a queued job, which will show up over here under queued changes. You can see I made a logger update. So since we're not actively connected to the logger, these changes will be queued, and the next time the logger hits our diagnostic server, the changes will be applied. Next, we can look at the channels configuration page. So here we see a list of the active channels and some of their settings for this site. I can click on any of these channels and go in and make adjustments to the settings. So I'll go into this first channel here, which is currently off. I'll go ahead and turn on statistics, and I'll change the serial number to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click Save, and as in the site configuration, that's going to create a new queued change. On the channels page here, we can see that there's one channel change queued. So if I click here, we can see that channel update I just added and the logger update I added before. The next type of configuration option that's new is for serial sensors. So on the serial sensor setup page, I can add a sensor, choose a COM port, client address as long as it's not one I've already used. And I can choose from a list of available sensors. Add an SR30. Two meters, pointed south. Now that I've added that serial sensor to the site, I can go back to the channels page, go into the Add Channel wizard. I can either choose the channel first, or I can choose the sensor. Since I know which sensor I want to add, and I know it was channel 9, so I'm going to do channel 9, and I'm going to measure solar irradiance. Here you'll see a lot of the parameters come in. And now you can see this is changed to show 2 channel changes. Keep going with some of the configuration options. There's just 2 more: email schedule and Metlink schedule. First with the email schedule. So like with Symfony Pro Desktop in the past, now I have a second option for making configuration changes to the email schedule. We can also make changes to the Metlink schedule. One note here, you see the Enable Diagnostic Check-in box is checked. That is required in order to use these cloud features. Right now there's no block to keep you from unchecking it, but I recommend that you leave that checked. So we've gone through and made some configuration changes. We can see that those configuration changes are listed here in the queued changes area. The next time the logger checks into our diagnostic server, it will download and apply these changes, and they'll go away from this list and they'll show as events in the events area of the website here. When these configuration changes take effect, since I have subscribed to receive email notifications from this site, I'll get an email notification that they were successful. One feature I'd like to call attention to before I wrap up today is the feedback feature. This isn't new, but I'd like to call attention to it because it's an important way to get your feedback and your ideas on how to make NRG Cloud more useful for you. And that rounds out the features I wanted to discuss today. If you have any questions, you can contact your sales representative or somebody in tech services. Thank you very much for watching.